Roll call. Councilman Coley? Not here yet. Councilwoman Hilbert? Present. Councilman Montague the third?
Present.
Councilmember Clifford Ross?
Here.
Councilwoman Jamie Summers Johnson?
Here.
Councilwoman Adrian Wooten? Not here yet. Councilwoman Eason?
Here.
City Clerk Joyce Lanier, not here. Tamara Robertson, Deputy Clerk, it's not here yet. I'm trying to enter just in case. Business Administrator Chris Hartwig, here.
Here.
Laquana Best, Planning Director.
I'm here.
Fire Chief Derek Brown.
Present.
Thank you, sir. Niall Clements, CFO. Not here yet. Vincent DiFilippo.
Here.
Paula Fiera, Tax Collector. Here. Marty Mays, Public Works Director, is absent today. City Attorney Garcia Martellus, not here.
Hiram is right for the law department.
Thank you, sir. Chris Murray, Tax Assessor.
I'm here, Trish.
Thank you. Wendy Sykes, Director of Community Service.
I'm here. Yes, I'm
Thank
here.
you. And I do believe that we have someone for Kenneth Goodman. You're here for a legislative for Marlon.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Vincent Vitiello.
Present.
Thank you, sir. Marguerite Homer, the clerk's office. And did I see Councilman Coley come in?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now we'll have recognize a moment of silence. Amen. Okay. Special notice. Please be apprised, anyone wishing to discuss agenda or general items shall email their statements or questions to citizens' comments at orangenj.gov no later than 7 p.m. the day prior to the scheduled public meeting. The City Council reserves the right to respond or not respond during the meeting to any citizen submission. The requirements of NJSA 10:4-9 et se Sunshine Law has been met. A notice of this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger, published in the record transcript on July 13th, 2023, posted on the bulletin board in City Hall, the council's website, the city's website, and filed in the office of the city clerk. Now we'll have the matters of discussion.
From our health officer, Betty DiFilippo, the floor is
Good
yours.
evening, everyone.
Good evening.
We've been very fortunate. Our COVID cases have been down throughout the whole state of New Jersey and in Orange. I can give you some breakdowns just in the long-term care facilities. This is throughout the whole state of New Jersey. The residents at long-term care facilities, there were about 678 cases. Staff members at long-term care facilities are about 231. As you're aware, the bird flu is picking up a little bit. They found some more animals that had the bird flu, regarding anywhere from the goats. They had sheep, dogs, and cats. They found a yellow tint in the milk, and they found out also, basically in Mexico and Texas, people were feeding their animals raw milk, and that's how they're contacting the bird flu. And that's basically it. There is a monkeypox vaccine program going on in Cedar Grove at 199 Fairview Avenue, May 30th from 1 to 5. And I hate to bring this up, but there's also a new strand of COVID.
Yeah.
It's called FLIRT, F-L-I-R-T. It's KP-2. 1 in every 4 cases that have gotten in New Jersey right now has the new strand. Don't forget, the actual virus actually mutates. It copies itself. So that's how this is going to be an ongoing thing. So is there any questions anybody wants to ask me? And don't forget, there's also tick season is here. And don't forget, you don't have to go into the woods to get ticks. You can walk in your backyard. Don't forget, they fall off rabbits, deers, other wildlife animals. So try to keep your grass trimmed and things like that. So this way, there's a less chance of ticks being there.
Yeah, Council President.
Yes, Councilor Coley.
Yeah, this don't have anything to do with COVID, but this has to do with these stores that are selling these cigarettes and vaping products to minors. I got several complaints over the last few months, Vinny. I forgot to mention to you, but I don't know if you recall some years ago when we did a sting operation at a few places, and we was able to identify some of these stores that are selling these products to young people. I think
Tobacco sales.
yeah, I think we need to do that again. I'm getting a lot of complaints.
If you could give us a list, we'll do that before the vape things because they're supposed to be 21 and over.
Yeah, the vape.
Wait.
The vape. They're just selling stuff just like wide open. Man.
Just give us the location whenever you get a chance. I mean,
okay,
we're fortunate.
I'll get some locations to you. No
all right, good enough.
All right, very good.
Council President, CFO Doc Clement arrived at 7:04 p.m.
Thank you. Any other
Thank you.
council members have any questions for our health officer? If not, is our county liaison on?
No.
Thank you,
Okay.
Council President. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Vinny. Please move the agenda.
The resolutions and ordinance to be presented at tonight's meeting are listed on the attached regular meeting agenda. If any council member wishes to discuss any resolution or ordinance, it may be discussed at this time.
Council members, before we do that, I think we asked Mr. Village Administrator Hartwag to discuss a couple during this period so that everybody will understand.
So
You're muted.
You're still muted, Chris.
the first resolution I was asked to address was the cancellation of the bid for the Highland Avenue train station. This was brought about by the fact that we went out to bid. The bid was submitted. There was one bid. It was 3.7 million and change. The bid was considerably higher than the grant budget for the project. That was caused by the fact that the condition of the building has deteriorated substantially from the beginning of this project in the planning stages to when the bid walkthrough took place. Specifically, the plaster ceiling has collapsed in several areas. The building was broken into and vandalized. There were parts of the building that were stolen and removed. There were other deteriorations due to weather that occurred to the building, and that accounted for the increase in the bid. When we spoke with both New Jersey Transit and DOT, they told us that we couldn't accept the bid because it was outside the parameters of the grant in terms of amounts, and that we would have two options: one, scale back the project, or two, seek additional grant funds and in both cases rebid the project. So this is the first step to taking course number 2, which is to seek additional grant funds. We have to reject these bids, sit down with New Jersey Transit and DOT about additional funding, and see what we can cut back out of the project. So that's why we're rejecting the bid.
Council President,
Yes, Councilman Coley.
you just identified some key issues with the building, vandalizing, and so has the building been secured, or the project been secured so that it could kind of limit the access, or it's still the way that it is or was?
No, it's been secured. It's still, so that everyone's aware, it's still under the jurisdiction of New Jersey Transit for security purposes, but we've supplemented that with our own police force and with Public Works, and we've made sure that all of the doorways are secured, including the doorway that was sawed through. And all the windows have been secured as well.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Council President?
Yes, Councilman Ross.
Yeah, Chris, was there squatters in there at all? I'm just curious.
Not that we observed, no.
Okay. And do we know, when we go out to rebid, do we know how much additional money that we're gonna need?
It will depend upon the final bid specs in terms of what the parameters of the project end up being, and we have to collaborate with Transit and DOT in order to arrive at that decision.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other council members have any questions for Mr. Hartwack? All right, council members, this is your opportunity to address any concerns on any ordinance or any resolution on the agenda at this time. 24-2021 is going to stay on the table. 13-2024 is going to remain tabled. Are there any other questions or concerns? Councilwoman Hilbert, you have any questions or concerns?
No, Council President.
Okay, thank you. Please move the agenda.
Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn, Ross.
Second, Coley.
Motion by Council Vice President Clifford Ross, seconded by Council Member Kerry Coley. The meeting is adjourned at 7:13 p.m. Okay. Next page. This is the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Orange Township held via audio video conferencing on Tuesday, May 21st, 2024, following the conference meeting. Can we have a pledge of allegiance?
I'm going to ask Councilman Coley to lead us tonight.
I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Spoken like a true veteran.
Hey, because I am all American.
Awesome. Okay, roll call. Councilman Coley,
Present.
Councilwoman Hilbert,
Present.
Councilman Montague III,
Present.
Councilman Ross,
Present.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson,
Present.
Councilwoman Adrian Wooten, absent. Councilwoman Eason,
Present.
City Clerk is absent. Deputy Clerk is absent. Business Administrator Chris Hartwhite is present.
Present.
Planning Director Laquana Best, Fire Chief Derek Brown. He is still here. Yes, he's on mute.
Present.
CFO, thank you, sir. CFO Now Clements.
Present.
Health Officer Vincent DiFilippo. He's here. Got to unmute.
Sorry, here.
Thank you. Tax Collector Paula Fiera.
Here.
Marty Mays is absent. Law Department.
Ms.
Rahi. Yes, thank you, sir. Tax Assessor Chris Murray.
Present.
Director of Community Service Wendy Sykes.
Present.
Kenneth Goodman, Legislative Research Officer.
Present.
Police Chief Vincent Vidiello.
Present.
City Clerk's Office Marguerite Homer is present. The requirements of the NJSA 10-4-9 EDSA Sunshine Law has been met. A notice of this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger and published in the Record Transcript on July 13, 2023, posted on the bulletin board in City Hall, the council's website, the city's website, and filed in the office of the city's clerk. Approval of meeting minutes. May 7th, 2024, conference meeting minutes. Council members Coley and Wooten were absent and should abstain. Can I get a motion?
Motion. Second, Ross.
Motion by Councilman Montague, second by Councilman Ross. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry, I have to do a roll call. Councilman Coley,
Stay.
Councilwoman Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilman Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilman Ross,
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wooten is absent, and Councilwoman Eason.
Yes.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yays, one abstain, and one absent. Motion carries. A motion to adopt the May 7, 2024 regular meeting minutes. Councilmember Coley was absent and should abstain. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion by, motion by Councilman Montague, second by Councilman Ross. Roll call. Councilmember Coley.
Abstain.
Thank you. Councilwoman Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilman Montague.
Yes.
Councilman Ross.
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Wooten is absent. Councilwoman Eason.
Yes.
That is 5 yays, 1 abstain, and 1 absent. Motion carries. Department monthly revenue collections for the month of April 2024. The clerk's office collected $90. The Historic Preservation Commission collected $140, and the planning department collected $272,401. Oprah reports that for the month of April, there were 79 requests received, 70 completed, and 9 remaining. There were no communications and petitions. Citizen comments.
Point of order. You skipped council reports.
I sure did. I do apologize.
Let's go back to that. The finance committee report, I think I went through briefly during the conference session. So we're gonna start with our police chief.
I'm so sorry, ma'am. I was letting in Councilwoman Wooten. She called.
All right.
So she came in at 7:15, yes.
Okay. Our police chiefs?
Yeah, sorry about that. I was stuffing my face. First chance I got to eat. Hello, everyone. Good to see everybody. Really, nothing major to report. Just that we're getting into our summer months where we'll be having our bike squad out there. We'll be looking into the parks, and just participating in any and all activities that the city or the council has. So, with that being said, questions?
Any questions for our police chief?
Yes, Council President.
Yes, Councilman
Sure.
Montague.
How you doing, Chief?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I got a question. I've been getting a lot of complaints from residents that have permit parking throughout the city. You know, I don't know. You might have a little. Do we go by every street that has permit parking to check?
Yes, we should be doing that. Our officers should be doing that.
I mean, I'm told that it's not happening. I'm getting it from different streets that have permit parking. And you know, to me, it really doesn't make sense if we have permit parking if we don't enforce.
No, it doesn't. But if this happens, I would like to be informed immediately about the situation so I can handle it at that time.
Right. But I'm saying, do people have to call or do they check?
No, we check. They're supposed to. It's in their duties to check their respective zones, their sectors, and their streets for permit parking. And each officer has a listing of the streets where there's permit parking.
Right.
So it should be checked.
Okay.
And now you're telling me it's not. Now I'm going to have to make sure and get out there and supervise it and see if it's checked or not.
I appreciate that.
But I will, being that you brought that up, I will do a ticket check on the amount of permit parking tickets we did give out in the last 2 weeks. And I'll have all that ready for your next council meeting. And if you want it sooner, I can have it to you in a day or two.
No, as long as you get it to me, not a problem. No rush. Thank you.
Got it. You're welcome.
Council President.
Hold on, Councilman Wooten. And police chief, and we need to encourage our residents, if they see a violation, they need to call. Because sometimes the officers are on emergency detail and they need to call into the dispatch. And they will dispatch a car if they see somebody violating the permit parking. Because even though our police chief is saying that they're checking, they can't be everywhere. And we got so many streets that have permit parking that the residents need to take it on themselves to call the police and let them know so and so is parked on my street. They don't have a permit if they know who it is or if they see the car, just so we can help the police out.
No,
Council-
absolutely. And we'd appreciate that. Thank you for that help, but these guys should be checking.
Right. Councilwoman Wooten?
Police Chief Vitiello, I just want to say thank you so much for handling that matter as quick as you did yesterday. I called the police chief because while at the bank, I saw 3 kids playing near the railroad crossings. They were inside the fence, up near the railroad crossing, up near the tracks of the railroad. So I probably should have called 911. I didn't. I called the police chief, and within a matter of minutes, there was a car there immediately. It was 3 young men, looked like they were school age, but I just want to say thank you so much for handling that as quick as you did. My granddaughter was in the car, and soon after you called and your police were on the scene, the train came in. And my granddaughter was like, wow, Grandma, this could have been something totally different. And I would have been scarred for the rest of my life had I seen what could have happened yesterday. So thank you so much for answering that call. And next time I will call 911, but I was there with another mom, and we were worried, and the quickest person on my mind was you. So thank you, Chief, and thank you, department.
No, thank you for calling. And, I appreciate those words, but these kids don't understand how quickly these trains creep up on you. And thank you for that call. That may well save their lives. But listen, you can call 911, and if you want to do a follow-up right after, I have no problem with that. And that's what anything. You guys ever need anything, call me. I'm here. And if you don't think you're getting the service that you should be getting from the police, I would like to know immediately so I can assist you out and rectify it.
Thank you. Any other
Sure.
questions for our police chief? If not, we'll move to our fire director.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Nothing major to report on the fire side. No emergencies or anything like that or incidents. But I do like to just reiterate again, Junior Public Safety Academy is coming up, starting July 8th through August 2nd. You can go to the city website. We do have a page up on the fire department page for JPSA. You can print out the applications. We are looking to have 30 young cadets in the academy for police and fire. So we're looking to have a great camp this year and a lot of activities for the kids and a lot of things to learn. But any questions, anyone? Thank you.
Any questions for our fire chief? Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe.
Wendy Seitz, our Director of Community Services.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I don't have much. I just want to announce that the Central Playground pools will be open this weekend for Memorial Day from 10 to 6. And it'll be open every weekend until the 4th of July weekend, at which point we will open throughout the week. We will open each park throughout the week. On June 29th, we have the Gospel Festival coming up. It will be at Monty Urban Park from 12 p.m. until 6 p.m. So come out, bring your lawn chairs, and have a good day. Hopefully the weather holds up. And then, hang on one second. I think there was one more thing. The Summer Sizzle basketball program, Mondays through Fridays. There's a 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. session. Program starts July 8th for our middle school and high school students, and it will be held at Central Playground Basketball Court. If you would like to participate or would like additional information, please call the Department of Recreation at 973-518-1659. or 973-952-6123. So there will be family swim at our pools, at one pool. Usually we do public swim from 12 to 6 at all of the pools, and then we do the camps in the morning. But we are opening earlier for our families to be able to swim in the morning times as well. We just have not figured out which pool that will be, but I will make that announcement in a future meeting. And that's it.
Director Sites, what specific day this weekend are the pools opening?
Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Okay. Any questions?
Council President,
Yes, Councilman Ross.
Director Sykes, how are you?
I'm well, thank you, Councilman.
Is that all the pools out in here, or is that just Central, playground
Four.
pool?
Right, just Central for Memorial Day for the weekends until 4th of July weekend.
Okay, and is it free for the residents this weekend, or do you need a badge, a tag, or whatever you need?
It's free this weekend for the weekend, Memorial Day weekend.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anyone else have questions for our director?
Council President?
Yes, Councilwoman Hilbert.
Yes, excuse me, I can't use my camera right now, but yes, Director Sykes, could you let us know how much it is for the badges? I actually just had a parent ask me.
So they're different prices. They were 15 for residents. I would have to double check. Don't take my word for it. I can get it to you before the meeting is over, but it's usually one price for residents, another price for non-residents. So I will, if at some point, just give me a couple minutes, I'll check on it for you and I'll get back to you. Is that okay, Council President?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay, and also what were the hours for Monday?
The hours are from 10 to 6. That's Friday, that's Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Director Sites. Next, we're going to our tax assessor, Chris Murray.
Good evening, everybody. I don't have much to report on. My office is really quiet. I'll take any questions if anybody has any.
Any questions for our tax assessor? Thank you, Chris.
Have a good night.
Ms. Paula Fiera, tax collector.
Hello, everyone. The bill back notices were mailed out last week for the $250 senior disabled deduction. If you exceeded the income or the property sold, or you did not send back your PD5, you were billed back for the $250. That's it from the tax office.
And you're mailing out the estimated tax bills, right?
Yeah, they'll go out next month.
Okay.
Council President, you said that form, what's that you said a PD5.
Yeah, that's the $250 deduction.
Okay, right. And that had to be filled out every year?
Yes.
I mean, is that state statute or that's something that we just do?
Yes. It's actually a state program. It's through the city, but the state audits us.
Okay. All right. Okay. If you didn't get one, how can you get one? Can you, is it on the website or you gotta come to your office to pick it up?
It starts with the tax assessor.
Okay.
And the income limit is $10,000, excluding Social Security.
Excluding Social Security. Okay, but the form is in the tax assessor's office?
Yes, it starts with him, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Cohen. And Ms. Fiera. Our CFO now, Clement.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, Orange. We have quite a few items on the agenda tonight, a lot of which have to do with the city's budget. Resolution 299, 2024 is introducing the calendar year 2024 budget. Once this passes, we'll begin to schedule the department meetings, and we're going to begin printing the budget binders tomorrow. So they'll be ready for the council to pick up tomorrow in the CBAC on Thursday. The bill list, I just want to touch on the bill list. It's kind of high because we paid our second quarter levy to the Board of Education in the county. And not to steal Miss Wendy's thunder, but the swim passes for adults and youth is $25. For residents, for non-residents, it's $30, and day passes are $10 for residents and $20 for non-residents. Any questions? I'll take them at this time.
Any questions for our CFO? Thank you for that information.
Anytime.
Thank you, Niles. Thank you.
Okay. We're going to our Director Bess.
Good evening, Council President. The city is continuing with the implementation of the residential track for the Community Energy Grant Program. And this program is available for all residents, renters, or homeowners, and will help reduce energy costs and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And for any additional information, please contact Chris Mobley, our Deputy Director of Planning. There's also more details where the actual plan can be found on the city website. And the city is also partnering with the Orange Chamber of Commerce to work with business owners and help them reduce their energy consumption costs and greenhouse gas emissions. And also, as you may have already seen throughout the town, the parking kiosks have been installed in the municipal parking lots. And these kiosks will replace the parking meters that were there. They accept coins and credit card payments. And there's also an app that can be downloaded to pay for the parking. The individual parking meters will be removed shortly from all the municipal lots. And that concludes my update for now. I'll take any questions.
Any questions for Director Bess?
Council President.
Yes, Councilwoman Wooten.
Hey, Director Bess.
Thank you.
I have a question. So you're saying that the meters that we have now are going to be removed and they're going to be replaced with new meters? Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Okay. So the ones that are in the in our parking lot, those are going to be replaced as well, right?
Correct.
Okay. Because I had a resident that called me last week and she said that the cost was $2. And I told her I would check on it and I forgot. So that meter is going to be removed. So that's a moot point right now, right?
If it's the old meters still, then yes, those will be removed. I'm not sure on what the actual cost to park, like what that is, but I can find that information out.
Okay. All right.
$2 an hour.
I'm sorry, now?
Sorry.
It's $2 an hour. Cost to park is $2 an hour.
Did we
increase the rates? Yes.
$2 an hour? Okay.
$2 an hour, yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Director Bess. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, CFO now.
Thank you.
Ma'am.
Administrator Hartwag, you have any questions? I mean, do you want to share anything?
I have lots of questions, Council President, but I have no report. Thank you.
All right.
Council President.
President. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Who was that before Councilman Ross?
Councilman Ross can go first.
All right, Councilman Ross.
Thank you, Councilwoman Hilbert. Chris or Laquana, I just wanted to add, those meters on Main Street, will they be replaced or we got to do without meters on Main Street? Just want to be clear on that.
Director Bess.
The information that Deputy Director Mobley gave me with the municipal lots.
Okay.
The meters on Main Street are staying. The meters in the lots are going to be removed, and that way people will understand clearly that you're only going to pay at the kiosk. But for the time being, they're still in the lots. You understand, Councilman Ross?
I'm trying to figure it out. Yes. So the meters in the municipal lots will be removed, and they'll just go to the kiosk, right?
Correct.
Correct.
But on Main Street, we're still gonna have meters.
Correct.
Okay.
And they all are going to be working, right? CFO?
Correct.
Thank you.
And one other question: what are we going to be doing about down from Park to Glenwood, where there's no meters and there's
Should be. What do we gotta do about that?
The meters from the lots are supposed to be reprogrammed to the streets that you're talking about.
Okay. And when do you anticipate that happening?
As soon as possible. We're working with the company and Mr. Mobley.
Thank you.
Thank you, CFO and Councilman Ross. Our Director of Public Works is absent tonight.
Council President, I apologize. I just have one last question. Is there gonna be any signage, for the kiosks that you install?
There's some up there now. We're working on getting a QR code so that residents, customers, commuters can snap a picture. That'll take them to a link that they'll be able to pay for parking on their phone.
Right.
We're working on the app, but there is signage in the lots now that speaks to the new rate and to pay at the pay station.
I must have missed it. Okay, but I'll look again. All
There
right,
should be 2 in each lot.
okay.
City Attorney, who is that?
Councilwoman Hilbert, I still have my question for the DA.
Okay, what is your question, Councilwoman Hibbert?
Business Administrator Hartwick, this is along the lines of parking, but it's not for the municipal lots. It's actually the community agreement for the Lincoln and Highland apartment building. So I guess there was a meeting or the residents were contacted in regards to the parking spaces behind that building. And the rate that they were offered was $125 in order to park there. Is there a way that we can have a meeting or a forum and figure out how we can make this affordable for the residents in the Lincoln Avenue and Highland Avenue area?
Sure. Well, first of all, whatever meeting that was wasn't conducted by my office, because we haven't determined what a price would be, and we haven't determined, other than through lottery, how we were going to disperse and advertise for the availability of the spaces. So I'd love to know who called that meeting. And in terms of whether or not we can have a community forum, I think we should probably make a recommendation as to what those costs would be and then have the community forum to get feedback, so that we can move forward with renting out those spaces.
Okay, yes, I agree. Because it was news to me. Someone came to me and she said she spoke to someone from the management, that they were talking to all of the residents about it. And I said $125, that's higher than what we're hearing from the other apartment buildings, which is like $70 to $80. So I was going to recommend that maybe we could use a portion of the community benefit funding that we received in order to negotiate for our lower costs for the parking in that area. Because if it's 125, people are still gonna park on the street versus parking in the lot.
I understand.
Yes, okay, so, all right, so yeah, I thought there was a meeting, but there wasn't a meeting and there's still room to negotiate. So I'm very pleased to hear that. And please reach out to me after the meeting or possibly tomorrow, so I can help assist and get all the residents involved with that conversation. Thank you.
Mr. Hartwig, is that a lot that the city owns?
It's a lot that's to be conveyed to us as part of that project, yes.
Okay, because a little later, I'm gonna talk about parking in all of our buildings, parking lots, but I'll go through that later and then, council comments. Any other
President,
questions?
it's Director Sykes. I wanted to just make an amendment to what was stated regarding the parking passes earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So the parking passes are 25 for residents, 30 for non-residents, and then it's for the renewal for the year, it's $10 for both residents and non-residents.
Pool pass, right?
What did I say?
Parking
I meant the pool pass. We have no park passes, so I meant the pool passes. Yes. So
You wanna
Again,
go through that one more time?
I was gonna repeat it again. So the pool passes are $25 for residents, $30 for non-residents, like Niall said. However, for a renewal, if you had to pass the previous year and you're coming to renew it, it's $10. And then everything else remains the same, except that the seniors are $5. It's $5 for the seniors for a pool pass.
Council President, that's for the season? That's for the season?
That's for the season.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
And didn't he say something about if you just wanted a pass for one day, it was $10?
The day passes, right, it's the same, $10 for residents, $20 for non-residents.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one, for Wendy. Wendy, you still
Yes,
there?
Councilwoman
You
Boyce.
made me a councilwoman? Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, would you like to be?
I'm waiting.
Listen, what about, is there any, for families, that, a family that have 3 or 4 kids, is there any special, rates for them?
We take those on a case-by-case basis. We handle them on a case-by-case basis. I don't want to say it in a public forum, but we do make accommodations for those families with multiple children.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Wendy, you also should say if somebody wants to sponsor a child, they can do that also, right?
Absolutely, you can sponsor a child for any of our programs.
Or a family, Councilman
Yes.
Boyce.
Thank you, Council President.
Okay, good evening.
All right. I think that concludes our, so please move the agenda.
Yes. There were no communications and petitions. Citizen comments. Please be advised that members of the public wishing to address the council on any subject shall be permitted to do so during this portion of the meeting by indicating a raised hand and activating their cameras at this time. To allow maximum public involvement, each speaker will have 1 5-minute period to interact with the council and must provide his or her name and street address prior to beginning his or her comments. Screen sharing or visual aids are not permitted. Members of the public are reminded to be courteous and mindful of other individuals' rights when speaking. Each person has the right to speak on any subject and is responsible for any abuse of that right. The city bears no liability for any comments made by any member of the public and reserves the right to remove any person engaging in obscene or disruptive conduct. The council will consider all comments and questions and will respond if and when appropriate, which may or may not be during this meeting.
All right. If you wish to speak on this meeting, please use the reaction and raise your hand, the reaction section and raise your hand. Our first person is Asia Samuel.
Aisha Samuel, 401 Highland Terrace. I just wanted to, because I haven't heard anything of what's going on with the hospital property, the Highland Avenue train station, and people are still getting towed and blocking my driveway. So I wanted to know if it was possible to have the city come and actually paint a big old X or whatever in front of the driveway once they redo Highland Terrace, because I know Highland Terrace is on the list for this year. And thank you to the police for getting people towed very quickly. I appreciate them coming. I really do. Oh, and also I have a recording of people threatening me regarding the last person who was towed. So again, this is not just a issue about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is also a safety issue now because people are talking about putting their hands on me. And I would really, really, really want them to. That's all.
Thank you. Mr. Livingston?
Yeah, you can hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we hear
can.
you.
190 Oxford Street, Devin Livingston, you know the name. First, I would like to say shout out to my 4th and 5th grade Lincoln Elementary School kids. They won the recreation championship. You know, shout out to them. They worked hard. Shout out to all the young men and women that played in the recreation. Also, it was unfortunate that the cheerleaders didn't get any awards for the recreation, even though they participated all year. They brought the spirit, they brought the heart, they brought the energy to every basketball game. And for them to not be awarded, even though their teams did not win, regardless, is unfortunate. Everyone should have gotten an award. To those parks that opened up, I hope you guys are going to implement the free throw lines and not just leave a blank pavement. Not leave a blank pavement. Fully renovate the whole park, not just a section of the park. Redo the playground as well. I think you should redo every little thing of the park. It seems like you penny pinched when it came to that. I'm gonna be honest with you guys on that. You guys talked about a $3.7 million bid. Hopefully, some of that money goes into the kids' sports this year. Hopefully the Rebel team is not wearing 2009 the 2009 basketball girls uniforms yet again. Hopefully they have a whole uniform set to where they're not being looked at as kids just shooting on the court. They look as a team, they look as a unit. But I also want to talk about these open records of mine not being getting to me. I have at least 15 to 20 open records that I have yet to receive. Some of these open records are body cam footage that I asked for, and I need them legally for legal cases, and you guys are denying me this right. You guys just try to give me open records that I filed a year ago of police body cam footage. I think that's inappropriate. I think that's unconstitutional. And this comment is for the police chief. I understand this is not an open carry state, correct? I ran into Mr. Coley. I think that was the 8th of this month. I ran into Mr. Coley. Mr. Coley was in a blue uniform like he was an officer. Blue shirt, blue pants, black blues, blue undershirt. He was open carrying on Main Street. He then went into the post office, which is a federal building where you cannot carry firearms in. I then approached Mr. Coley and told him he cannot carry firearms in there. Mr. Coley told me he would knock me the F out with a firearm on his hip. I think this needs to be looked into. I will be sending this not only to the NRA, but I will be sending it to the Essex County prosecutor and the Attorney General. You can laugh all you want, Mr. Coley, but you are not above the law, and this is not an open carry state. I filed a police report on Mr. Coley as well, and I hope the police chief, he says with all crimes, he will look into it and he would do his best. So I hope he looks into Mr. Coley impersonating an officer, also open carrying in the state that's not open carry, and also threatening the citizen to knock him the F out while carrying a firearm in his hip. Now, Mr. Coley, if you want to set up a date and we could throw boxing gloves on, and we could do it for charity, I would like to do that. But you are not a man to have a gun on your hip and say you're going to knock a citizen the F out or open carry on Main Street with citizens. You are not above the law, and never will you be above the law. Mr. Coley told me that he's a retired sergeant, and then he comes on here and says he talks like a true veteran. A veteran knows that he is not above the law, and he has to follow the guidelines of the law, whether state or federal. Now, Mr. Coley is a council member. And I understand that after all this, the charades are done. I understand, no, we are not, the election is over. I hope I still see you guys out in the community. The BA, I never see you out in the community. What, are you ashamed? I don't understand. You're doing all this business for our community, but I don't never see you out. Like, what's going on? Why you don't ever show your face out in our community, but you handle all our business? I want to reiterate, you guys are here to paint orange in the image of the community, not in the image of you guys. I want to remind you that and keep reminding you that. And Mr. Coley, keep that smirk on your face, because legal action will be taken against you, sir. And Chief, I hope
The time is up. Thank you, Mr. Livingston. Ms. Howell?
I want a response as well. I want to stop being treated.
And please, Mr. Livingston, your time is up. Please, everybody just keep to the 5 minutes so that everybody has an opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Hello.
Ms. Howell?
Oh, good evening. Laura Howe for 83 Mountain View Avenue. I have a question. I think it would pose it to to Vinny, the chief of police, or possibly the chief Brown. It was a question that was asked of me from my United Health, my health insurer, about what do you have plans, or what type of plans do you have in case of an emergency, in terms of maybe maybe a nuclear attack. And I could not answer that question, and I'm just curious if you all have
Can we
a plan.
can we just preserve Ms. Howell's time for 1 minute? Trish, could you please turn off Mr. Livingston's camera? We're not allowing visual aids in any presentation. Mr. Livingston, if you continue to disrupt the meeting, you will be taken off, okay? Please have his camera turned off. Mr. Livingston, please turn your microphone off or you will be removed from the meeting, okay? I'm sorry, Ms. Howell, please continue.
Looking up, and I kind of months ago, and I also wondered what would happen if there was a nuclear attack. Is there a safe zone? Is there a place? Are you prepared to protect the town or neighbors? It's a really important question. I couldn't answer it, so I wonder if you have don't have a plan, maybe you might want to have a plan for residents. Could someone answer that question?
Fire
Sorry,
Chief,
is there-
you want to answer first?
If I may, so Chief, if we can,
Go ahead.
we, through the Office of Emergency Management, have a citywide emergency plan for all departments to come together in any mass casualty incident within the city of Orange for all our residents. We will have a unified command come together where we will meet at our PD station. So we do have an emergency operational plan that is cited by the county and the state.
Okay, guys, because I couldn't answer that question because even when I watched this movie, it was with Meryl Streep. It's on Netflix if you ever want to watch it, and it was about a meteor headed to Earth that was going to destroy Earth. And I often wondered, and there was another movie too with that the Obamas produced about the end of the world, and you could see New York, being attacked. So I thought. Well, it was crazy that for the first time I was asked that question. And also in regards to training, like for instance, like a fire happened in my house, I would certainly like to find out if you have something to help me make my house safe. Because I don't have, I live in a single family house. I don't have a fire escape. So what can you do to help me fireproof my home so I have a way to escape? Because one time I was trapped in my bedroom, the knob fell off, and my son-in-law and my daughter came and unscrewed it happened to be able to get in the house. It was one of those things. So I just wonder if you have a plan to help people just in case.
So what you can do is reach out to us at the fire department, 973, write this number down.
Okay. No, I can't do it right now, but I'll call you.
Just give us a call. I'll give you the numbers, 973-346-2300, and that will be extension 6129. If not, you can go to the city website. My number and fire prevention numbers are on the website. Reach out to us. We'll have you come in. I have my members from fire prevention come out and visit you and assist you with a home escape plan and give you some education. So we're here for you, for all the residents in the city. If you need to go anything, just go to the city website. Our numbers are on the website. We have our email addresses, and just reach out to us. Okay, we're here for you, Ms. Howell. Anything you may need, Ms. Howell, we are here for you. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that
You're
answer.
welcome. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Howell.
Thank you.
Ms. Campbell?
Hi, good evening. A few things. So I saw that on tonight's agenda, the budget, is being proposed, I guess, for being passed or voted on to pass. And so at the last meeting, I did inquire about whether or not there could be some type of webinar or tutorial, whatever you want to call it, to understand the budget process. As I combed through what was proposed to be passed, like a lot of questions just came up for me, just so that I can understand it. And I'm sure that I'm not alone. I think I've heard on the last call, Councilwoman Summers Johnson asked, for a similar request or ask. And so I'm wondering if that will be honored. I mean, even if you guys go through and go forth and passing this budget, is this something that you considered? And so I'm wondering if somebody can come back and follow up on that ask. So that's number one. Number two is also I had requested or made a suggestion about openings on any of the committees, commissions, or boards that exist. Is there some way to find out, are there openings? Where are these openings? How can we get them filled? We have residents who would like to participate, should participate. And so if we know where these openings lie, maybe they can sort of, send their information so they can be considered. I, again, would like to ask for an update on the open space board. What is that looking like? Where are we going with this? What's next? Also, in terms of reports, at the beginning of, I saw on the agenda there were accounts of funds that lie in various, committees or whatever. And so I remember previously asking Mr. Hartwig whether or not we could report on open space funds that have been collected. Wondering, that's still an open ask. I believe when I asked previously, it was meted, it was welcomed, and I believe I remember hearing that this could be a forum that it could be reported on. Not sure where we are with that, but it would be nice, especially in lieu of we're not receiving annual reports. It would be nice to be updated on what those funds look like and what we're doing with them. In terms of Resolution 286 2024, Metcalf Park, I'm not really understanding that. So I'm hoping somebody can provide an explanation for that. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Kemmer, as far as the boards are, if you have people that or names of someone that's interested in getting on the board, you can provide it. That's where it usually works. Provide it to the council at large or your South Ward councilwoman. And that's how people get appointed to boards. If you have somebody that's interested, they can reach out to the council person in their ward so that they can be considered for any of those boards. That's how that works. Because it's usually like the North Ward puts some people, the South Ward puts some people, the West Ward puts some people, and the East Ward put people on those boards. So they usually go through their council person or council person at large.
Okay, so that's beyond the ward. That sounds like that's beyond, because there's only four council people for wards. So you're saying they can go to all council people and say that they like to be placed on a particular committee, commission, whatever. Okay, that's fair. Thank you.
At large, or are there council at large?
Any council person. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Great. Thanks.
All right. 286. Who wants to respond to 286?
In Marty's absence, I'll do it. This is a contract to be awarded to Remington and Vernick Engineers for the engineering provide professional engineering, design, construction, administration, and inspection services for phases 1 through 3 for Metcalf Park. And this is for phase 2. It's for $56,127. If you look at the attachments to the resolution, 4 pages in is a copy of the proposal from Remington and Verdict, which outlines the proposed improvements to include but not limited to design and construction of a new dog park, including drainage and water service, design and construction of 4 additional light poles, landscape design, removal of 4 additional trees, designing and layout of electrical conduit routing and analysis of the existing electrical services, design of electrical schedules and details, a redesign and the expansion of the concrete pool deck.
So, not to cut you off, but so that's what the proposal for the renovations of the park is. So,
Ms. Campbell, he's responding. Your time is up.
I know, but could you listen, Miss Easton, could you at least listen? I understand what he's doing, but what I'm doing.
Let him respond.
Can it not be a reciprocal conversation, or is it just him responding and then?
I'm sorry, Ms. Campbell, the whole point of a 5-minute rule is so that everybody has an opportunity to speak. If you have questions that go beyond that, you're free to call whoever you need to call tomorrow and speak offline. Going back and forth, but we're not going back and forth on it. That's it. But we're not going back and forth on it. But we're not going back and forth on it. No, and that's it.
No, excuse me.
Your time is up, ma'am, and you can listen to the response, or you can. Okay, please, Ms. Campbell, you continue to go on and continue to overtalk me when I'm trying to tell you that it's over and done with. If you want to be kicked out of the meeting again, you can be left out of the meeting. Okay, fine. You know what? Ms. Campbell would like to let out of this meeting. Okay.
Mr. Hartman, you want to continue your explanation?
So that was for the entire project. The contract is for phase 2. I was reiterating what the contract was for. Phase 2 consists of the incorporation of minor comments and recommendations that have been received from the engineering and design update phase. So as the project moves along, we do periodic reviews. The design, engineering and design phase, there were comments and reviews done in that phase that require some changes to the overall construction project. And this phase 2 contract will see us through those amendments and changes.
And as far as the reports of the open space, can you provide that?
Well, open space is a tax. So in terms of the collections, it's not like the Historic Preservation Commission or the Planning Department or the Clerk's Office. Right. The taxes are collected quarterly. We can provide an update on the current balance and whatever's been collected and expended.
And to Ms. Scipio, can we try one more time to get the open space board up and running?
Yes, ma'am. I'll do it next week. I'll call each council person that needs to assign someone.
Okay. And we also need the cooperation of our business administrator so that his people will attend the meetings that represent the mayor's office and the business administrator's office. Okay?
Council President?
Yes, Ms. Hibbert.
Yes. So I just want us to clarify as we move on. I don't know if we have any more hands up. I don't think so.
We do. Let me finish the hands up, then you can answer your questions, okay?
But no, it's regarding the citizens' comments, because what just happened to Ms. Campbell, let's be very clear. If there's time left on the clock, will you allow the residents to ask a follow-up question?
One of the things, Ms. Hibbert, and I think Mr. Mitch Rahi explained it very well, is that there will be no back and forth. This is not a two-way conversation where you need to go back and forth with the person. Once you say, I'm finished, then we go into the answer all of the questions and we move on.
Okay, no, Council President, you stop for 1 second. So this is exactly what you did to Ms. Campbell. Give me 1 second. This is a follow-up question because what you're saying is not clear.
Ms. Campbell.
Hold on. Mr. Mizrahi, hold on one second. Well, let me say what I have to say, then you can respond because you guys are not understanding. So what I'm saying is she had time left on the clock, but it ran out while the business administrator was speaking. So is it? Yes, there was still time on the clock. So if it was a situation, you could replay it, okay? You could do that on your own time. So please stop talking while I'm talking, okay? What I'm saying, Council President, what you want for this meeting moving forward, if there's time left on the clock, you don't want to hear a follow-up question from the residents, you would rather them just reach out to whoever's responding to them at a later time. Can we just say that for the record?
Perfectly said.
Council President, I think that the important thing to understand here is that we're not talking about we don't want to hear something from the comments, or we don't want to hear something from the public, or we're not allowing the public to do something. This is a time for public comment. The public has 5 minutes to speak when they've concluded their comments, and if they have questions and the council or the administration wishes to respond, that's the time to respond. If they don't wish to respond, then we move on to the next speaker. The purpose of the council meeting is to conduct the business of the council, conduct the business of the city that needs to be done. If there are specific issues that go beyond the 5 minutes that a member of the public has to speak about, they're free to contact any person, any city official during the week, during any other time when city hall is open from 8:30 to 4:30, Monday through Friday, except legal holidays. Okay, there are phone numbers published all over the website. They're free to call and discuss those issues, so that these we don't get into these extended situations where people think that this is going to be a back and forth. It's not going to be a back and forth. They can make their comments. If the council and or the administration wishes to respond, they can do so. Otherwise, we move on. That's it.
Okay, like I said, you guys just needed to clarify so that we don't have any more issues or back and forth. So that's why I'm just trying to clarify, because there's still time on the clock, and we've never really asked the city clerk or Miss Scipio to pause, let an administrator respond, then give the time back to the resident. I would think that would just prolong the meeting. So I'm not saying that I'm for it or against it. I'm just saying, let's just be clear so we don't have any confrontation or conflict for the citizen comments, because this is their meeting too. And we want them to participate. So thank you, Council President, for allowing me to say that.
Meeting, and I think it was pretty clear from the preamble that stated, and it's been pretty clear as to how the council operates. But again, this is the council's meeting. It's not the public's meeting. It's the council's meeting. There's a public portion for it. There's a portion for public comment, but it's the council's meeting, and I think that everybody needs to understand that as well.
Mr. Mizrahi, it was citizens' comment section, so she was getting a response.
It's not the public's
All
meeting.
right.
It's the council's
So,
meeting. As a council member, you should understand.
Council President, you could move it along, because I'm not going to do a back and forth. And like I said, I just wanted clarification because we have another resident who's waiting. So thank you.
All right. Ms. Tennant?
Okay, here we go. Rachel Tennant, 461 Waverly Place. I'd like to thank whomever is responsible for having the tree cut on Waverly. The residents are 90% happy, but however, there's part of the tree still tangled in the communication wires, and it's suspended in the air. So, does anyone know if Comcast or Verizon will be coming to? Because I guess they're the only ones that could cut that portion out. So again, thank you to whomever was responsible, because the last thing we wanted was someone to get hurt. Moving right along, 2024, 53, I guess is that North Essex? Wherever it is. I think the citizens are tired of tax abatements, or, Orange has become the financial aid city for all developers. I can't tell when the last developer actually paid out of their own pocket or secured enough financing to complete their project without involving tax abatements or what have you. And even the project Laurel Street in South Jefferson, That's another huge project. That's another tax abatement. And I actually sat in on the planning board meeting, and if I recall correctly, that project, when they presented at that time, it was short about 40 parking spaces. I'd like to know if they amended their plans in order to be in compliance with the 1-to-1 parking ratio, because I do recall it was short, but now it seems like what they're presenting, it's up to, I guess, code or ordinance or whatever. Again, Orange cannot financially support any more developers. At this rate, Orange will be bankrupt, because you have to take into consideration that we might have to pay more to the school systems. That falls on the residents. Governor Murphy said he's increasing the tax rate, or, that all municipalities can increase. That falls on the taxpayers again. So, this really has to, developers need to get their finances together, come into Orange, and then build. They shouldn't get financial aid from the homeowners, because that's where they're getting it from. It's on our backs. And just a few more things. The church on Main Street, I think V.A. Hartwack, I think you said, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. The church on Main and Scotland, they're putting out black garbage bags. It's primarily on the Main Street side. So I don't know if someone could reach out to them and let them know. Okay, thank you. I was told that Orange owns the train station. Can someone clarify that for me, please?
Oh, that's a good question. All right, Ms. Tennant, you have any other questions before we start responding?
No, I do not.
Okay, so the only question you have is, does Orange own the train station? That's all you need, right?
No, I would like to know if someone called Verizon or Comcast to take care of the part of the tree that's left suspended in the air. Communication wires are going through it, so you can't really cut it. It has to be by, I guess, a communications company.
Mr. Hartwack?
It's Hartwike, just for everybody's edification.
Wait, say that one more time.
Hartwike.
Hartwack.
White.
White.
So, yes, we contacted the utilities to come out and examine the wires and see who they were and to get them out of the trees, or to cut the tree itself. And your second question? Sorry.
Who owns the train station?
Train station is still owned by New Jersey Transit.
Okay. So does Orange have part ownership?
We have a lease.
Just a lease. Perfect. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Tennant. Ms. Hilaire?
Hi, thank you. I'm Adelisine Hilaire. I reside on Alden Street here. I just have a few points to make. I have always asked what the city of Orange is doing in regards to bringing awareness for mental health and well-being, but more specifically on the ACE, the Adverse Childhood Experiences. And I am here today to bridge some connections with my neighbors, residents, to the council members, and tell you why all this matters. I did a look over to your each individual profiles. Ms. Eason, in your bio states that your greatest accomplishment was implementing a kids call program for runaway kids. Mr. Clifford Ross states that in the past 20 years, you worked part-time for recreation, providing a safe haven for young adults in the community. Mr. Monaco, you coordinated the Higher Ground program, which helps many individuals, including drug counseling. You're also certified in gang intervention, meaning you understand exactly why people join. Ms. Summers Johnson, you sponsor the Never Alone Again domestic violence organization. Mr. Kerry Coley, working on reopening for the Colgate Park Pool and establishing the Coley Summer Camp Initiative. And Ms. Hilber, you have experience in mental community health, and you have participated in many close drives and public safety initiatives and local pantry. So my questions are the following to you all. Why would any child run away from home? Why would you need to provide a safe haven for young adults? Why the need for alcohol or drug counseling? Why the need to join a gang or have organizations for domestic violence? Why the need to establish summer camps, reopen pools, renovate parks, and tend to the needs of people who are misplaced? We are looking at the root cause of many of the problems you are trying to solve, and yet there are no conversations about how to address the elephant in the room. Childhood trauma. Childhood trauma affects brain development, our immune system, hormonal system, causing long-term health problems like heart disease, cancer, suicide, alcoholism, and 20 years lower life expectancy. You may wonder, how is any of that connected? It's called toxic stress. Stress so severe that changed our physiology, things like physical and emotional abuse, physical or emotional neglect, growing up with parents who struggle with mental illness or substance dependence, witnessing a mother being physically abused, having a family member in jail, and experiencing racism. That has an impact as an individual, as a family, as a community, and as a culture. We need to address, number one, by having these open conversations. Number two, by educating ourselves and addressing the problem we have the solutions for. We need to educate ourselves on how our own traumas affect our relationships with other people, with coworkers, in our communities, and how all of this has a ripple effect in our society. We need to build an ecosystem of well-being that includes physical exercise, like clean and safe parks, schools, recreations, sleep, like quiet ordinance, proper nutrition, healthy, affordable foods, growing our own vegetables, mental health, community health centers with resources, healthy relationships, having a sense of belonging where people can talk to each other, connecting with each other, and spirituality, where you can connect with other people or a higher being. What are leaders in the City of Orange are participating in the Office of Resilience to bring awareness to the public about these adverse childhood experiences and how to prevent and mitigate and develop positive childhood experiences? And I do want to ask one more thing, because we are talking about stress and it seems like we are all very stressed. What are you going to do to implement the quiet zone on Haywood, South Center Street, as every citizen is guaranteed a quality of life that they have been denied for so many years on Haywood and South Center Street? But I want to leave you with one thought here. Safety is not the absence of threat. Safety is in the presence of connections. And I want you to also think about this. How will you recognize the stresses and trauma of other people when you haven't dealt with your own? Thank you so much.
Ms. Hilaire, I have a suggestion. Would you like to run a community forum on mental health? Why don't you reach out to us so we can set it up so that we can educate people on just what you're saying? I work in a school district, so I am aware of a lot of the things you talked about. But would you be interested in spearheading something like that?
Yes.
So reach out to me and we can put it together with the other council members, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Abasola?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So my name is Abisola Oshintolu. I live on 223 I Street. I have two comments. The first one is about a mechanic on I Street. Right there, that block very close to the park. I Alden Park, right? And I pass by that place every morning, and I see a lot of cars there.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that place has been turned into a garage. I don't know what it is right now. And I feel that the people in the city in charge of that should have seen that by now. I'm not sure why that the owner of the shop does not follow the guidelines of when the parking should be on that side of the road or not. I don't know why it should be he or she should be exempted from that. I think something has to be done because this is a residential area. I don't know how it has been commercialized to have that much cars and trucks or whatever it is during the day. It's it's an eyesore. That is number one. Number two is the fact that on that left, coming from Park Avenue now, on that left side of High Street, there are two different signs for parking during the week. I think on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, I think. One says 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and one says 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'm not sure if it was deliberately changed, as you move towards both ends of the street. I don't know why that should be so. I think it should be uniform across board. So those are my two comments, and I hope that it can be addressed as soon as possible.
Ms. Abasola, since that, and I'm afraid to pronounce your name there, Chris. I'm gonna call you Chris.
It's okay.
Since that business opened and our business administration, I've been on it. I don't understand, and I'm like you, why we allow that to open on High Street. It is a problem. I'm constantly dealing with it every day. The cops are over there all the time trying to enforce. There's too many cars, and it's not a place that's conducive for that type of business. It was already a commercial property, so it was already zoned commercial. So that's why the owner was able to rent that place out. But it is on High Street is a county road. I've reached out to them to put no parking signs on High Street, and then they said, well, the city has to enforce it. So we are working on a solution. We just don't have one. And every day I'm calling with some other issues. And I just talked to the owner the other day that it cannot become a junkyard. So he has to take all of those banged up cars off of the street. So we are working on it. So you have my sentiments exactly. I've been scratching my head as to why we allowed that to move. It came from Scotland Road. It was initially on Scotland Road, and there the owner is on High Street, and it is a nuisance. I agree wholeheartedly. So give us some time, and we will try and come up with a solution. And the signs I will check out tomorrow and get back to and with our Director of Public Works to see what has been legislated.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for your support and your comments. I was wondering when somebody else was going to complain besides me, but thank you. Mr. Ebo?
Yes, good evening. My name is Ebo Nkrumah, 711 South Center Street. I'm basically here because actually the previous speaker, I think the one before the previous speaker mentioned something about a quiet zone on Haywood and Center Street. About 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, most of the residents that live on this street met with the police chief, as well as our councilwoman, and we categorically told them that we do not need that quiet zone because that quiet zone was placed on this street without consultation from the majority of the people that live on this street, and I think it was done basically based on one person's concern or one or two persons' concern, which I think it was very wrong. And two, it's because I've lived on this street for over 17 years. And some people move into the neighborhood that basically want to enforce or basically push their way of living on us. And we are not going to stand for that. Okay, we want to spend time outdoors during the summertime. we're going to have parties within the parameters of the law, and that is our right. And if it is required, I am going to get signatures from the majority of people that live on this street, indicating that we do not want any quiet zone on this street. Because it was asked for just as a way to basically suppress our way of life. Yes, we have a lot of outdoor functions during the summer. It's my house. I'm allowed to do that, so far as I'm doing it within the parameters of the law. So I'm just making it very clear that, and I speak for the majority of people that live on this corner at the bottom of Haywood Avenue and Center Street. And if I need to, I will get signatures to indicate that we do not want that. So basically, that is my comment for this evening.
Thank you. Ms. Engel?
Good evening. Thank you, Council President Eason. Carmen Engel, 174 Haywood Avenue. Well, just had two comments to Ebo's comment, the previous resident. Yes, I recall when a quiet zone sign appeared on the corner, and I thought that was very interesting. I made an inquiry myself as to when was it authorized. I wanted to thank them, and I made some other inquiries regarding the statute and ordinances passed to enforce it. And strangely, within less than 2 days, the sign disappeared. So it's valid what Ebo is saying. Evidently, there was no proper function executed to place the sign. But that aside, my question is actually to Chief Vitello. Just a follow up on the last council meeting. I made an inquiry in regards to the noise ordinance, because on a particular day there were 3 times in that same day that I contacted Orange Police Department, and I think the second time I called and the officers were dispatched, the officer was kind enough to explain to me that he not quoted, but he relayed information to me that seemed contrary to the noise ordinance that was approved by the council and actually posted on the website for citizens of Orange or whoever would like to look. And I do believe you said that the officer there, he says, I'm pretty sure. And I said, well, no, this is the ordinance, this is the code, this is the table it's on. And we've had to resort because of noise complaints, myself and another resident. We actually looked up the ordinance. We saw what, acceptable decibel levels and such were. We resorted, my husband resorted to actually downloading an app to register the sound of, noise we were hearing from our property. And it just so happens, I think the property the noise was coming from was, we live on Haywood Avenue. It was on South Center Street. And now my home is 4 houses in from the corner of South Center. And it was clearly audible. Chief Vitello, can you tell me, you said you were going to try to get some clarification and see if we might be able to find some common ground between what the officer was telling me, and later that evening, past the hour of 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m., the lieutenant, because the officer on the desk consulted with the lieutenant on duty, and they told us that on a Sunday night, whatever night, they're not obliged or obligated to enforce the noise ordinance until after, is it 10 p.m. or 11 p.m., Brian?
Yes.
About 10 or 11 p.m., which is contrary to what the ordinance that the council passed. Were we able to get any clarification on that? I think Council President Eason asked also if you could, clarify. She offered to forward it another copy, sir.
Absolutely, man. And thank you for bringing it to my attention last time. you know, it's always good when something's brought up to my attention that I could train the officers with. So since we had that conversation, we went back to the ordinance and I issued it and they, you still there? I lost you.
I am.
Okay. Yeah, we reissued that in Power DMS. It's a system in which each person has to sign off on a particular document that we give them, so we know they're getting them, so they know they understand them. And it was
I
also
do.
went into roll calls, so there should be no confusion anymore
Okay.
as to that ordinance with my officers.
I understand you mentioned in the last meeting that it was somewhat discretionary, but I just want to know if it will be in line with the officer execute in line with the codes that.
Absolutely, because
Great.
no, absolutely, we want to do it because it's also, and I spoke to counselor about this, but it's not only the decibel levels, but it could be the content. If the content of the noise is offensive with certain languages and stuff, we could also take that into consideration.
Slight interruption. I'm going to be sending you an email because specifically it's in regards.
Do we
Hello?
lose?
Yeah, I don't hear her. Is she still there?
Timer.
You say-
Timer.
You still here?
I am.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
I can hear you now.
Okay. It was specifically in regards to the tables within the two ordinances ending with 7 and 8. It specifies decibels, and I just want to know that the officers are going to, I don't know if they have the ability to enforce that.
They will
And
have
it-
the ability very soon because we put in for a couple more machines. And also the officers that we do have certified to operate the sound devices when we do get them need to be recertified again in June.
Okay.
So we do have them and we are gearing up for the summer.
All right. If you'd be so kind to give me your phone number, you didn't give
Absolutely.
it in your last meeting. Please.
Ready? 973
Mm-hmm.
727
Yes.
0736.
0736. Thank you so much. I appreciate your being on the call. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, miss. You're welcome. Have a good night.
You too. Bye bye.
Police chief, I think one of her questions is the ordinance says 10 p.m. Am I correct? Chief Villiella, where'd you go?
I'm here.
The
Honestly,
ordinance says 10 p.m. Am I correct?
I don't
She
have it
said
in front of
10
me,
a.m.
but
Yeah, but it's 10
honestly,
p.m. So I guess that's what she was reading. That's the last one that we passed with the decibel. And the time said anything after 10 p.m. Last meeting, you talk about the discretionary piece, which is not.
I reread it, Miss Eason. I reread it and I got the decibels and I put it out to the personnel. So
I'm not
it's
talking
it's
decibels.
incumbent upon my supervisors, captains on down.
But I'm saying, what is the time? That's what the discretion is. It's the 10
There's no
p.m.
discretion. We have the 10 now. It's 10 decibels before 10 and decibels after.
Okay,
I'm going to adhere to that.
that's what I wanted you to clarify.
Okay.
That's all. That's all.
Got it.
All right. Thank you. Michael G. Baptiste.
Hello. Good evening, everybody.
We can't see you.
You can't see me?
No, we cannot.
So what about now?
We can see you now.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Michael Jim Baptiste, 368 Jackson Street, Orange, New Jersey. I'm on the call tonight to say thank you to Maddie Mays and Chris. You guys doing a great job by redo South Essex. But I understand why you guys doing it. You guys rushing to doing it. And when you drive a South Essex, it's nice. So what about the yellow line? So you guys forget about it? Now I know why you guys try to do it. You guys try to impress the resident, but you cannot leave it like that because when you drive a South Essex, so you're supposed to be on left, the person on the right come towards you. So you guys gotta go back to finish it. So that's one of my questions. Can please, Council President, can someone answer my question? Because I know you guys mad when the resident asks a question. You guys don't want to answer the question. Can please this question answer?
Michael G. Baptiste, you want to finish all of your questions and then we will respond.
Okay. Council President Tensi, please, can you guys stop nasty with the resident? Because it's not fair. When the resident have a concern, you guys keep treating resident bad. You know? Then you, the council president, please do me a favor. Stop being nasty with the resident. And also, people, the lawyer, everybody, respect the resident. You know, if the resident have a question, let them ask the question. We don't have to be back and forth with the resident. That's my question for tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Village Administrator Howard, you want to respond to Essex Avenue and the lines? Or can you give that message to our Director May so he can follow up with Michael Jean Baptiste?
I can tell you the lines are gonna be painted.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Ortega.
Good evening, Council President. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening. Just to address what's been said on this call.
Please, announce your address, name and
Yes,
address.
ma'am.
Address,
Yes,
please.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Manny Ortega, 152 Haywood Avenue, Orange. Just to address what's been said on this call this evening. Any resident of Orange, New Jersey, your civil rights are not up for debate. Your humanity, your dignity is not up for debate. It is not up for he said, she said. It's not up for anybody signing on papers and saying that anyone is deserving more than anyone else. Every citizen of Orange, New Jersey is guaranteed a quality of life. We have people on Haywood Avenue and South Central Street, which is a county road, yelling hate speech, threatening officers, threatening our families. We cannot hold functions for the autistic families on this block because you hear the noise, the nuisance that hasn't been addressed in the 7 years that I've been here up to Paxton. People's dignity, quality of life, and civil rights are not up for debate. That is all. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. I don't see any more hands, so please move the agenda. Oh,
That hand was already raised.
yeah, you can only do 5 minutes, Mr. Ebo. Okay, thank
A
you.
motion to close citizens' comments.
Move, Wooten.
Second, Curley.
Motion by Councilwoman Wooten, second by Councilman Coley. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Citizen comments closed. We first go to ordinance on second reading.
Point of order. Point of order.
Oh, Lord, I skipped it again. I do apologize, Councilwoman. Council comments, council members' comments. I have a different paper in front of my hand, and so I do apologize. I wasn't prepared.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're gonna start with Councilwoman Wooten.
Council President, I'm going to be so brief. I just want to say thank you to all the people who participated in the election. I want them to remember an election that's coming up in June. And also, I would love for the city of Orange Township to show up and show out in November. Thank you so much, Council President.
Oh, thank you. Councilwoman Jamie Summers Johnson.
Thank you. I just have to start with just 3 words. It's healing time. It's healing time. We have to move this city forward, and we need to do it with dignity. It can be done. On my little small block, 2 residents had a function, 2 different functions on Saturday. I received a text on my Slack, I want to say Thursday, letting us know that they were going to be having a gathering. They let us know what parking they put in place, like telling them all to park on the right so you would be able to pass. And I use that as an example because people have to live here. And we would love for everyone to get along. And as the resident said, we definitely met at the police department where we were able to hear residents' concerns. And I think it's very important that all residents have a voice where they live. A lot of times people comment on areas that they don't live, where they don't live. And even when we do one ways or speed bumps or anything like that, we always try to get petitions to make sure that everyone is clear on what is about to take place. It's just how we keep things in order. So I'm going to go back to It's Healing Time. We missed a big opportunity with this election with our youth. I received so many calls from my son's friends because he attends Orange Preparatory Academy, which is 352 eighth graders who received some of the literature that was at the lowest that Orange has ever gotten or seen. Instead of them being excited about voting and the voting process, they were more into the reality TV. We have to do better. That's not safe for our children. We talk about trauma. We can't cause trauma either. I know all about trauma. As Councilwoman Easton said, she works in the school district. I teach eighth grade. So I know all about what people go through and the services that are around, and we can always improve. We can always have more. We can always have more. That will help everyone. And again, we never know what someone is going through, which is why we should choose kindness. That's why we should choose kindness, because you do not know if the things that were put out could have caused someone to go over the edge. So when we're giving advice, we need to really listen to what we're saying and make sure that we are taking into consideration that we don't know what people are going through. I will just end with, there is an election in June, as Councilwoman Wooten said. We need to do better with getting the word out. Residents continue to say they didn't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how they didn't know, because you receive mailings unless you don't live at the address that the clerk has. You should have already received all of your information for June. You should be clear. The clerk's office is very helpful in letting you know when to vote and where to vote. And I just think that with our neighborhood watches, we just need to make sure that our neighbors are alert and know when these elections come, because people are watching. That's why the county is now, it seems like they're really trying to work with us, because we're coming out. And a lot of times people look at elections on election day and they look at the numbers of people who actually come out, but there are people who vote by mail. So we can't continue to say people don't vote in Orange. There are not 30,000 registered voters in Orange. I don't know why they keep saying that. There's about 16,000, and yes, we could do better. We can always do better. And I'll end on, it's time to heal. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Hilbert?
Yes, good evening, Council President, and my colleagues and the administration and the residents. I first and foremost want to say a early happy Memorial Day to all our troops, our veterans, my family and friends and constituents who have served this country. I too want to say thank you to all the voters who came out, who remembered to come out. We did experience a little bit of voter suppression and a lot of rain that day, but let's keep the course. Let's continue to show up for our community. Your vote is your voice, right? And it also lets the county and the other neighborhood communities know that our residents are engaged in their local government and that they're actually speaking on their interests on what they want to see in their community. And another thing is that I will continue to be the council person, because a lot of people don't understand. I will continue to be the West Ward councilwoman for another 2 years. And I will continue to do our meetings and work with any of the constituents who are interested in participating and collaborating. Our West Ward will be having our second annual June luncheon. So I will be sending that information out to everyone pretty soon so that we can keep the ball rolling and keep the community engaged. And just to close it out, I am extremely proud of the residents and the organizers who were active during this past election. I want to say thank you to people who are truly supporting change and effective government. And I also want to say don't let people who aren't living their truth or freedom discourage you from living yours. You do not have to settle for mediocre. You do not have to settle for being suppressed or told what to do, what not to do. It is very important that we be respectful to each other. We have to be understanding to other people because not all of us think the same. We have different perceptions, different backgrounds, different culture, but we do have to learn how to communicate in a way that everyone is being heard and we're coming together as a community. I witnessed a lot of division these last couple of months. I've experienced loss myself, being that I lost a niece, a newborn baby. So there's a lot of things that have happened in people's lives that people don't know about. Just speaking to what the Councilwoman Summers Johnson is mentioning, let's be an example of what we want to see from our neighbor. And I hope that everybody moving forward is going to really speak truth to power, be productive, be effective, and also, like I said, continue to collaborate and don't block anyone. Don't hinder someone for doing something just because you didn't come up with the idea or you wanted to participate, or we just can't function that way. That's not how government or a community is supposed to operate at all. So I'm very excited for what's going to come in the next coming months. We have our budget coming up pretty soon. I would love to see us go back into person in regards to going over the budget books. I believe that was the thing back in the police station. Let's just keep keeping the community informed, engaged, and educated. And like I said, the Hilbert campaign was the blueprint. And I believe a lot of positive things came out of this. And I just want to see the work continued. And I want to see more collaborations and real people. And I will have my events and meetings coming up pretty soon, and I will share with the council and the city clerk and the administration to share with the community. Everyone have a blessed and safe Memorial Day weekend. Please don't call the police too much. Regarding the noise ordinance, please communicate with your neighbors, and we will see you in June.
Thank you, Councilwoman Hibbert. Councilman Coley?
Council President, how you doing?
I'm good.
I just have a question. I forgot to call Aaron. And this question came about, I guess, community participation in our council meeting. We give 5 minutes for the public to speak. And Aaron, correct me if I'm wrong. The state statutes say that we are only supposed to, the state statutes say we could give 3 minutes, correct?
Well, the state doesn't define exactly how long you can or cannot give. The state basically says that you need to give the public an opportunity, a reasonable opportunity to speak. Traditionally, and most municipalities and public bodies, that has been translated to a 3-minute period. We have gone longer than that and given the public a longer period of time at 5 minutes. But you are correct. I mean, you're correct in the sense that what you see everywhere else is 3 minutes. The state doesn't really define what is or is not reasonable, but based on practice, it's effectively at least 3 minutes.
Okay, but we give more time to the public than most other governing bodies. Okay, that's what I figured.
I would say we give more time than probably 99% of.
Okay, all right. So our public is not being left out. I never seen anyone not allow an opportunity to speak. I seen people who was unruly and didn't follow the rules and the platform. Dealt with in whatever means that is. And and I've been in Orange a very, very long time. And I've been involved in Orange politics a very long time as well. And all my years of being in Orange, I, I personally never seen or experienced voter suppression here in Orange. What I experienced and seen is low voter turnout, but I never seen any platform or a vehicle or any kind of way that was put out there to make people not vote or discourage people from voting. I never seen or experienced voter suppression. Like I said, I experienced low voter turnout. For what reason that is, that's what it is. But I had never seen no type of campaign that has been put in place to encourage people not to vote. So I just want to clear the record on that. And again, I think I congratulated my 3 council colleagues. Again, congratulations on your reelection, and I just want to continue the progress. Thank you, Council.
Councilman Ross?
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone. I got a little sore throat, so bear with me. We had a heated and negative campaign season, full of lies and personal attacks. Campaigning should be based around facts and plans on how you can improve and move the city forward. In light of that, my prayer is that this city can heal from all the negative campaigning and we can restore the hope and progress we were building upon to make this a great city. This can only be done if we communicate, cooperate, and work with each other in a friendly and professional manner. Second of all, and I want you guys to listen to me closely on this, and here are some sad stats, okay? We have 35 plus residents in this town. We have approximately 18,000 registered voters in this town. Half of the residents that we have are registered to vote. This past election, we had 2,876 residents who voted in this election. Now, if you don't think that's sad, then I think something's wrong with you. We all need to work harder to get more registered voters in this town by any means necessary. We all need to reach out to our Democratic committee to get them on board. And just remember, the more votes a town has, you have a louder and a more powerful voice for change. So let's keep that in mind. I also want to make a couple announcements. You know, I talked about it the last council meeting. Tomorrow is the Fish Derby at Monte Irvin Park. And that's at 6 o'clock to 7. And it's for children 15 years of age and younger. You can enter and you can win a prize. You need to bring your own pole, fishing poles, even though there might be some there for you, but it's best if you bring your own. So come out and have a good time tomorrow evening, win a prize, catch some fish. And like I said, the last meeting, I went to one of these a while ago, and I was the best time in my life. I caught a little sunny, about an inch in length, and but it was so fun. If you never fished before, take your children out and let them have an experience that they might never forget. Also, I want to talk about, I got this from the county today. The Essex County is having a job fair, and that's on Thursday, May 30th.
There's got to be over 130 employers there. So if you know anybody looking for a job, any recent college graduates looking for a job, I don't know if this involves any summer jobs or anything like that, but I'm going to give you a number. The number to call for any additional information is 973-395-8808. I'll give it to you again, 973-395-8808. And this has got to be at the Essex County College Gymnasium. Again, it's got to be over 130 employers there. So go dressed up, look nice, bring a couple of resumes with you, and good luck to you. And I also want to say that this weekend is the unofficial opening of the summer. And I want to wish everybody a happy and safe Memorial Day weekend. Thank you, Council President.
You're welcome. Councilman Weldon Montague.
Good evening, everyone. You know, as Councilwoman Johnson said, it's time for healing. The election is over. We need to respect each other, and we have to find a way to work together for the better good of our great city of Orange, New Jersey. You know, during the election time, I've been going through one of the roughest patches in my life because my father, right now, you know, his life is in a balance. I don't know if anybody, well, I know a lot of you know how that feels. But to see all this arguing, this division, we all from Orange. We all want Orange to be a better place to live. We're making it real difficult. All we got to do is talk and figure out, you know, everybody has two different opinions, but we have to come to a happy medium of what's right. One person doesn't have the right answer. We have to look at both perspectives and come to a happy medium. You know, also, I want everybody to have a safe holiday weekend. And as Ross said, please come to the job fair. I will be there. I'm bringing some kids from Orange, Newark, everywhere. I've been doing job readiness classes. So, you know, we got to do better, Orange. We got to do better. This is not them against them. We are all Orange. It has never been like this. It's time for change in a positive direction. So thank you, everybody. You know, have a great night.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman Montague. I just want to say that Councilwoman Summers Johnson set the tone for tonight. It is time for healing in the city of Orange. As I listen, and I'm hoping as we move forward, as we start this new era in Orange, that we're going to work on legislation that is going to benefit our residents and make life better for them and their quality of life. And everybody has rights. And I just want to say, when you buy a house in the city of Orange, or you want to live here, you have a right to enjoy your home. As long as you're not being offensive and creating a nuisance and bothering other people. But that's your right. No matter what the human rights say, the rights say, whatever, that is your right. That's why we buy a house, so we can enjoy it and live comfortably, enjoy our family and friends as they come over. Sometimes if you have a problem, it doesn't hurt to go talk to your neighbor. Ask them. If you think there's an issue, we need to learn how to talk to each other. And one of the initiatives that I'm going to be working on going forward in this new time is parking. Our residents in these parking lots that are owned by these building owners are being gouged. You talk about affordable housing, and you do affordable housing, but we legislated that each apartment should get one free parking space. But still, the landlords are still charging these tenants $100, $125 just to park their car. So they can't pay the affordable rent and the parking also. because that's when, and if we're talking about getting parking off the streets of Orange, we need to make sure that they're parking in their lots and the buildings they live, and that way it will alleviate some of the parking issues on our streets. But we got to address that issue, and I hope we can work together as we move forward. And I'm going to count on our city attorney's office to help us come up with a solution or a resolution that can remedy some of that and how we can enforce it. But one of the other things I want to address is respect. And we have to be role model for our kids, and they see us respect each other, they will respect each other. But the main people that come on the council people, and like our city attorney said, this is a council meeting. And just like you want respect, so does the council members. And when you come up here and you talk about someone being nasty, you should look in the mirror, because you are nasty yourself, and nasty begets nasty. If you're nice, people will be nice. But there is a protocol and there is a formula and a structure to council meetings that we all need to live by. You may not agree, you can disagree, but this is a council meeting. We need to learn to expect everyone. So when you're pointing fingers, look in the mirror and see where you stand on that spectrum. And let's all work together to make this a better city. Congratulations to our re-elected council members, and let's all work together for the betterment of the city. We're going to put all personal agendas aside. All of the negativeness we are going to put aside. We're not going to listen to it anymore, but we are going to move forward in a positive manner. Because when children look at us, I want them to see us working together and stop making all of the negative comments. If you got something to say, there's a way to say it, there's a way to do it, but there's a way to be respectful as you say it. And Councilwoman Jamie Simmons, I'm in the high school, and the kids always say, you gotta respect me. They always come with the adults, you gotta respect me. But we sort of teach them, you gotta give respect to get respect. And that means you lower your voice, you talk in a nice tone, you don't say negative things about people. And if you have a concern, just address it, but don't address it in a negative way. And let's just move this city forward and keep coming to your council meetings. We enjoy your input. We try to answer your questions. We may not give you the question you want sometimes, but we can always do a follow-up. And thanks to all of you. Please move the agenda.
Yes, ma'am. Ordinance on second reading, 24-2021, an ordinance to amend the city code of the City of Orange Township, Chapter 4, entitled Administration of Government, Article 2, entitled City Council, Section 15, entitled City Clerk, postponed since the June 1st, 2021 council meeting. Can I get a motion to postpone?
Wooten. Second, Wooten.
Okay, that was motion by Montague, Councilman Montague, second by Councilwoman Wooten. Roll call. I'm sorry.
On the motion.
I'm sorry, on the motion. On the motion? Okay. Hearing none. Councilman Coley.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilman Montague, the third.
Yes.
Councilmember Ross.
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Wooten.
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason.
Yes.
7 yeas, this will remain postponed. Ordinance 13-2024, an ordinance of the Municipal Council of the City of Orange Township, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 210 of the City of Orange Township Municipal Code entitled Development Regulations to revise the definition of retail sales to include personal service establishment, tabled at the April 16th, 2024 council meeting. Can I have a motion to remain tabled?
Motion to remain table, Ross.
Second.
Montague has it.
That was Wooten, that's for her.
It wasn't Wooten. Okay, so we had a motion by Councilman Ross, second by Councilmember Montague the third, because he finished it. On the motion? Hearing none. Councilman Coley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilman Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilman Ross,
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wooten,
Yes.
and Councilwoman Eason.
Yes.
At 7 years, this will remain tabled. Ordinance 17-2024, a capital ordinance appropriating $630,000 from the capital fund balance to pay for the purchase and installation of a citywide camera system by and in the city of Orange Township in the county of Essex, state of New Jersey. Are there any citizens who wish to make a comment? A motion to close citizens' comments?
Summers, motion to close citizens' comments, Summers Johnson. Second, Wooten.
Motion by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilwoman Wooten. All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
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 Can I get a motion to adopt ordinance 17-2024?
Motion to adopt, Ross.
Second, Summers Johnson.
Motion by Councilman Ross, second by Councilwoman Summers Johnson. On the motion? A roll call. Councilman Coley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilman Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilman Ross,
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wooten,
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason.
Yes.
At 7 years, motion passed. Ordinance 18-2024, an ordinance to amend chapter 26-6.1, section D of the City of Orange Township Code. We have one hand raised, Rachel Tennant, for citizen comment.
Yes, Ms. Tennant?
Yes. Two things. Does this ordinance bar an officer from receiving workman's compensation in case they get injured while because it's considered being off duty? The other thing is the liability aspect. If an officer does something wrong while off duty, is Orange liable for their actions?
CFO?
I think that's a legal question, Council President. I'll take the first question, which is the workers' comp question. Yes, they're covered by workers' comp. And as far as the liability question goes, they would be covered under our insurance policy for performing that public safety work.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments? Motion to close citizens' comments?
Move.
Can I get a second?
Second, Summers Johnson.
Motion by Councilwoman Wooten, seconds by Councilwoman Summers Johnson. Can I get a motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt, Ross.
Second.
A motion by Councilmember Ross, second by Councilwoman Hilbert. On the motion. A roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wooten,
Yes.
and Councilwoman Eason.
Yes.
That's 7 yeas, motion passed. Ordinance 19-2024, an ordinance on the city of Orange Township to approve a tax exemption for a 22-year period and authorizing the execution of a financial agreement between the City of Orange Development Urban Renewal LLC. Mr. Livingston?
Citizen comments, Mr. Livingston.
Yeah, I'm
We need your picture. You need to put your mic.
No, is my mic not on? My mic is on.
Your audio. We need to see your face.
I mean, you guys took it away. So I think I'd rather remain no video. So like I was saying, I think that this is here we are again, another tax exemption. I think, and this goes back to me saying you guys are running the community in your vision and not the way of the vision of the citizens. Now you guys sit here and talk about working as one. You guys give all these preaches, but we're sitting here telling you guys we don't want people coming in and getting tax exemptions if the citizens are number one if it comes to tax exemptions. But yet here again we're voting on yet another tax exemption. I think we're at how many? I think 10 or more tax exemptions at this point. I think it's ridiculous that you guys are sitting here saying you from Orange, this about Orange, moving Orange forward, and everyone is getting a tax exemption but the residents. I think you're putting the business of the entities forward. I think if BA Chris got out in the community and instead of staying behind the desk and seeing the citizens, he would think more community wise and business wise. I don't think you should give these people a tax exemption in our community. I think that the community should be first, unless they're not giving the egregious outreach for the community. I don't think this should be implemented. But yet again, we're at a standpoint when it comes to you guys. If you want to stick to your words on what you say about moving forward and talking in a nice voice, as if you guys want to be slave masters, then you should listen to us saying that we don't want another tax exemption. If you want to really implement that you work for the citizens, I think you need to implement the citizens' voices in your decisions and not just your own decisions. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Livingston. Mr. Hardwick. You want to explain that this is not really a tax exemption?
Sure, it's a payment in lieu of tax agreement.
And educate him on how that works.
So,
yeah, educate me, please.
A payment in lieu of tax agreement is basically provided by statute that you can enter into these agreements, and the payment in lieu of tax is based on a percentage of the annual gross revenue that's generated by the project. So if the project's gross revenue increases every year, so does your payment in lieu of tax payment.
Mm-hmm. So
not time for response, Mr. Livingston. Not time for response. It's not a back and forth.
So we get the tax. Excuse me, Mr. Livingston. Your time is up. He explained what you asked the question. He explained it.
Are we doing this again, Mr. Livingston?
If you want a better information, I suggest you make an appointment to meet with Chris Hardwick tomorrow, and he will educate you on the whole process.
You guys never respond.
Not on this line. Not on this line. Not tonight. Not tonight.
You gotta.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Ms. Scipio, please move the agenda.
Ms. Rachel Tennant has her hand up.
Ms. Tennant?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Again, more pilot programs. But the problem with the pilot programs, when they expired, the city tends to renew them. That's the problem. I've seen this project, it's beautiful. I'll give them that. The architect did a beautiful job. It fits right into the city, into the community. It just blends right in. You know, unlike some of these other buildings, it's just that look like prisons to me. But I think when someone comes to Orange to do a project, they should be able to afford the project. I understand payment in lieu of taxes, you get a little bit here, you get a little bit there. But I would like developers, when they come into Orange, to be able to fund their own project and don't ask for any financial aid. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Motion to close citizen comments.
Motion to close citizens' comments, Summers Johnson. Second, Wooten.
Motion to close by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilwoman Wooten. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, can I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1920-2024?
Council President, on the motion.
We didn't get to the motion yet. We didn't get a motion yet. I need a motion.
Motion, Montague.
Thank you, sir. Can I get a second?
Second, Ross.
On the motion.
Chris,
Yes, sir.
DA, and I've been used to calling you Hartwick so long, and you changed it up on me. But I've been calling you Chris Hartwick. So, what is it now? Hartwick?
Yes.
I knew you for a long time. I just figured that out. Anyway, I thought we agreed to do the impact statement on every time we have a development, to let them know what we get community benefits and what we would have been getting if we had not built on that property, you know, the taxes. Can we start doing that before we introduce pilot programs, please?
Sure.
Because a lot of people, we are getting money, and another thing, yeah, we are, and I need a list of all of our pilot programs, the money that's coming in. Can I get a list of that? You know, a spreadsheet.
Yep.
All right. Do we know the impact statement on this particular program?
The current property generates $8,000 in taxes on 53 and $9,000 on 63. The post-pilot revenue is anticipated to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $64,000 on each project for the first year.
And when do we receive that money?
As soon as the building's stabilized, it would kick in post-construction.
So.
And in the interim, it continues to pay taxes.
And what do we get for community benefits on each apartment?
You get $3,500 per unit.
So how many units is this particular building?
One is 16 and the other, I think, is 16 or 15.
Okay. Thank you. But for now on, we have a pilot program. Can we have the impact statement read?
Sure.
Okay. Anyone else on the motion? Okay, roll call. Councilman Coley.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilman Montague III.
Yes.
Councilman Ross.
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Wooten.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton. Thank you, ma'am. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
All right, no problem.
Councilwoman Easton, you're on mute.
Yes.
That's 7 yeas. Motion passed. Ordinance 20-2024, an ordinance of the City of Orange Township to approve a tax exemption for a 22-year period and authorizing the execution of a financial agreement between the city and 53 Essex Urban Renewal LLC. Any citizens who wish to make a comment?
Mr. Livingston?
Is this another tax exemption, or do you gotta educate me on this too?
No, you just explained it to you the previous one.
It's the same thing?
Yes.
So is the units more than, how many units are coming to the project?
Mr. Livingston, why don't you ask all of your questions and then we'll give you answers to all of them.
Okay, so I want to know how many buildings, apartment buildings are coming to every project, because if it's 120 units and it's only outreach is 15, I think that's a small outreach for a 23-year tax exemption. I think at least 25 is at least should be standard. and I understand you guys are giving numbers out of what you're getting on these projects, but we're not seeing them as citizens. So how do we know that you guys are actually getting these numbers that you're projecting? Do we get a format? Do we get something printed out at City Hall that we can go pick up? Or can we Oprah request it and it not be denied to us? Like, how do we seek this information that you guys are talking about that we know that it's actually factual instead of just words? And these developers that are coming into our community, why are there no?
Mr. Livingston, we're talking about one specific ordinance, so if you could just keep your comments confined to this project.
That's what I'm saying, to the project.
But you're talking about
Even with
developers
this
in general.
okay,
and things
can
like
I
that.
finish? I'm on
Just
my
talk
time.
about this
I'm
this
on my
project.
time. You're impeding in my time.
I have an extra 5 seconds.
You're impeding on my time. Even with this project, say with this project, they're coming in our community. Don't you think they should do an outreach where they at least show their faces to our communities and our citizens instead of just building and not being seen? Don't you think they should at least throw something for the community to show at least they care and not just getting money from our community? I think there should be an outreach. I think they should show their faces. I think they should do community service. I think they should spend money into our libraries. I don't think they should just get a 23-year tax exemptions with 15 to 10 units. I think that's ridiculous.
Thank you, Mr. Livingston.
Are you guys gonna answer my questions though?
Okay, one question you had, Mr. Hartwick, was the how many units? And the community benefit is the community give back. Yes, Mr. Hartwick, do you know how many units?
16.
16. Okay. Thank you.
No, I said how many units are being
That's
built.
it, Mr. Livingston. That's it.
I said how many
You're
units.
not understanding the concept, Mr. Livingston. One time. That's it.
Answer my question.
We
Mr.
did.
Livingston, we did. That's it. Your time is up.
Please move the agenda.
Motion to close citizens' comments.
Motion to close citizen comment.
Can I get a motion to close citizen comments by Council President Easton, second by Councilman Coley? All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt, Coley.
Second, Ross.
Motion to adopt, Councilman Coley, seconded by Councilman Ross. Roll on the motion. Okay.
On the motion,
Yes, sir.
Yes, Councilman Montague.
on a I'm just thinking out loud. For a 16-unit apartment, do they really need a pilot? 16 units. I can see the biggies.
I have the impact study if you'd like to read it. It's on
Yes.
file in the clerk's office.
Yes.
And it shows all the numbers and it
Right.
shows the calculations and the cost and the revenue that's generated by the building versus the expenses. And it shows the justification and the need for the pilot, otherwise the project wouldn't be built.
Right. Do we have that now?
It's 192 pages.
Councilman Montague, he will forward that to you after the meeting.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay. Any others on the motion? Roll call. Councilman Coley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert,
No.
Councilman Montague the third,
Abstain.
Councilman Ross,
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wooten,
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton.
Yes.
That's 5 yeas, 1 no, and 1 abstain. Motion passed. Ordinance on the first reading. 23-2024, an ordinance of the Municipal Council of the City of Orange Township to approve a tax exemption for 23-year period and to authorize the 23-year exemption and authorizing the execution of a financial agreement for payments in lieu of taxes between the city and Morrow Street Urban Renewal LLC. Is there a motion to adopt on first?
Motion to adopt, Ross.
Second, Coley.
Motion by Councilman Ross, second by Councilman Coley. On the motion? Roll call, Councilman Coley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert,
No,
Councilman Montague the third,
I'm sorry. Can you please change that to abstain? Thank you so much.
you're welcome. Councilman Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilman Ross,
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wooten,
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason.
Yes.
At 6 yeas, 1 abstain, motion passed. This final reading is on June 18th, 2024. Ordinance 24-2024, a bond ordinance of the City of Orange Township and the County of Essex, New Jersey, providing aid to a redevelopment project located at 566-588 Morrow Street and 507-515 South Jefferson Street in the City of Orange Township and appropriating $250,000 therefore, and providing for issuance of a $250,000 in bonds or notes of the City of Orange Township to finance part of the cost thereof. A motion to adopt on first.
Motion to adopt, Ross.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Ross, second by Councilwoman Wooten. On the motion.
On the motion, and this is only because I wasn't at the finance meeting. I don't understand this. Why are we taking part in this at
It's
all?
a redevelopment area bond, which will go towards paying for some of the infrastructure around the project, street infrastructure. And it's paid for through the proceeds of the pilot.
What do you mean, like the streets, the lights?
Yes, exactly.
But they're still gonna be paying their shut-on fees and all
All
that.
of that stuff, yes.
So we have nothing to do with this developer, correct?
Nothing to do in terms of paying for anything he's doing, no.
Correct.
Council President, just point of information. Just to follow up on what Business Administrator Hartwig said. So it's to be clear, when you have a redevelopment area bond, you have the redevelopment area bond repayment portion and a pilot portion. So the city still receives a pilot, but in addition to that, the developer is also repaying the redevelopment area bond.
Oh, okay. He didn't. Okay.
And just for your edification, Councilman, our business administrator did explain this during our conference meeting because I think I asked specifically that he do that. So I don't know what part. I know you weren't at the finance meeting, but we did go through it in the conference meeting.
I wanted to make it clear for me and others.
Right. Fine. Fine. But I also asked during the conference meeting if you had any questions or anything that we were past.
But this is legal to ask him this question right
No,
now.
I know it is, but I'm just trying to streamline the
We're ready
process.
to move on. We're
Yeah.
ready to move on.
All right. Okay.
Any others on the motion? Okay, roll call. Councilman Coley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert,
Abstain?
Councilmember Montague the third,
Abstain.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wooten,
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason.
Yes.
That's 5 yeas, 2 abstain, motion passed. Final reading, June 18th, 2024. Ordinance 25-2024 and 25-2024, an ordinance of the City of Orange Township granting Morrow Street Urban Renewal LLC a non-exclusive perpetual easement and authorizing the execution of an easement agreement. Can I get a motion?
Motion, Montague.
Second, Foley.
Motion by Councilmember Montague, second by Councilmember Coley. On the motion. Okay, roll call. Councilman Coley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert,
Abstain.
Councilmember Montague the third,
I have to abstain on this until I hear more.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wooten,
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason.
Yes.
That's 5 yeas, 2 abstain, motion passed. Final readings on June 18th, 2024. Ordinance number 26-2024, an ordinance amending Chapter 88 fees, Article 1 fees derived from code provisions, Section 88-1, Schedule of fees, setting rates and fees for the use of the water sewer system as initially established by Ordinance 58-2013 and as amended by Ordinance number 29-2017 and 43-2021. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second, Montague.
I didn't get the first. Was that Coley?
Yes, Coley, yes.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Coley first and seconded by Councilmember Montague the third on the motion. Hearing none, roll call. Councilman Coley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third, Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wooten,
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason.
Yes.
That's 7 yeas. Motion passed. Final reading, June 18th, 2024. Consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence of the agenda. Council members, is there any resolution that you wish to remove for a separate vote? If not,
Council President,
Yes, Councilwoman Hilbert.
I would like to remove Resolution 292-2024, Resolution 293-2024.
any other resolutions?
No.
Any other council member that would like to remove any resolutions? Okay, if not, the consent agenda consists of 277, 278, 279, 280, 281, 282, 283, 284, 285, 286, 287, 288, 289, 290, 291, 294, 295, 296, 297, 298, 299, 300, and 301, 2024. Can I get a motion to accept the consent agenda?
Motion to accept the consent agenda. Second, Wooten.
Motion by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilwoman Wooten. All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, now we'll move back to the,
Excuse me, Ms. Shapiro, you have to do a voice vote.
not the voice vote. I do apologize, Council President.
Yeah, you have to do a voice vote.
Councilman Coley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilman Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilman Ross,
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wooten,
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason.
Yes.
That's 7 yeas. Consent agenda has been adopted. Resolution 292-2024, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a community benefits agreement with Morrow Street Urban Renewal LLC for the redevelopment of the property located at 566-588 Morrow Street and 507-515 South Jefferson Street, and identified on the official tax map of the City of Orange Township as Block 6003, lots 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 27, 28, 29, and 30. May I have a motion?
Motion, Montague.
Second, Summers Johnson.
Motion by Councilman Montague the third, second by Councilwoman Summers. Motion by Councilman Montague the third, second by Councilwoman Summers Johnson. On the motion?
Councilwoman Hilbert?
On the yes, on the motion. So this structure is two buildings, and I see the benefit, the community benefit is supposed to be about $707,000. So I would recommend, I would feel more comfortable voting on something like this if we had a committee of constituents who would participate in how this money is spent in their community so that they really do see the impact. Just giving money is not enough. We need tangible stuff. We need to see other things in the community when it comes to these benefit agreements. I'm surprised I haven't seen any lotteries offered for any of these buildings as well. Where is the benefit for Orange residents, for the fire department, for the teachers? So these are things I feel that should also be included as an option when the administration is going to the table with the developer. We have to create a list as a council. We need to work with our constituents and create a list of deliverables, of ask to demand more, not just the money, especially if the residents don't even get to propose projects on how to spend the money so that they really do feel the impact. So this is my recommendation. This is what I like to see moving forward. Until I see that, my vote is abstain.
Thank you.
Anyone else on the motion? Okay, roll call. Councilmember Coley.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert.
Abstain.
Councilman Montague the third.
Yes.
Councilmember Ross.
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Wooten.
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason.
Yes.
At 6 yeas and 1 abstain, motion passed. Resolution 293-2024. A resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a funding agreement with Morrow Street Urban Renewal LLC for the redevelopment of the property located at 566-588 Morrow Street and 507-515 South Jefferson Street, and identified on the official tax map of the City of Orange Township as Block 6003, lots 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Can I get a motion?
Motion Coley. Second, Ross.
Motion by Councilmember Coley, second by Councilmember Ross. On the motion.
Councilwoman Hilbert?
No comment.
Okay. Any other council members on the motion? Okay. Roll call. Councilman Coley.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert.
Abstain.
Councilmember Montague the third.
Abstain.
Councilmember Ross.
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Wooten.
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason.
Yes.
For 5 yeas and 2 abstains, motion passed. Adopted. Council members, is there any other new business? There are no walk-on ordinances or no walk-on resolutions. Is there any other pending business? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion Coley.
Second, Wooten.
Motion by Councilmember Coley, second by Councilmember Wooten. We are adjourned at 9:39 p.m. The next meeting is Wednesday, June 5th, 2024.